Don't let them tell you what you worth. Go and get yours, keep putting in that work. Everything you get, yeah, you getting what you earn. Keep grinding from the bottom, yeah, we get it from the dirt. Don't let them tell you what you...
All right, guys, welcome to the Coffee and Convo with David Young, also known as Lyricist. I appreciate you guys for checking out another episode. I'm going to hop straight into it because there's going to be a lot of organic topics right now because, you know, I want to kind of siphon through some of the things that's been on my mind that I want to share with you guys. I hope you guys liked the other episode that I had pretty much talking about how to activate your savings, you know, things like that. So my goal is to make sure I keep giving information that you guys can utilize in an everyday sense. Go back to the podcast, listen to it however many times to try to get what you can grab from it. But I will definitely give more, you know, information during other episodes and also during my webinars as well. So if you ever have any questions or anything, feel free to shoot me an email. I got some emails this week. And like I say, I try to respond to them as fast as I can to make sure that, you know, everybody knows that I am reading this stuff. And I do plan on giving something when you guys send me your questions or your concerns or ask for a little bit of guidance. So my email is booking.daviddyoung@gmail.com. Once again, booking.daviddyoung@gmail.com. I got one of the websites coming from my business, so it's going to be dnyhomeservices.com, but you have access to my management options as well. But you'll always be able to reach me via that email that I just gave you guys. So let's talk about, you know, getting a deal done. And it doesn't matter what type of deal it may be. For some people, you know, it may be such a broad topic, but, you know, it could be anything. It could be you're ready to get your new home. It's time for you to go sign the lease, but there's certain things that you got to do to get that deal done. Let's just talk about the process, the mindset, the psychological thing that, you know, it takes to get a deal done. Now, for me, in my businesses and things, you know, it's always a constant, you know, search for, you know, new opportunities. And the reason why it's like that is because of the way that I set up my businesses. Whether it's real estate, whether it's, you know, home renovations and repairs, I'm constantly doing a lot of calling, like cold calls, things like that, to go out and seek the business. But no matter what, I'm always trying to put things on the table to where it is, you know, there's always some type of chance that something's going to blow. Something's going to, you know, get done. And the psychological part about that, let's talk about that for a second, is that when you feel like you've completed something, it's something about like, wow, I got that off my list. Putting a check by that thing that you wanted to accomplish, putting a check by that thing that you wanted to get done, it makes you feel good. So mentally, it puts you in a space of, man, I got that out of the way now. Now I could do this. Now I could do that. It puts you in that space of feeling completion. And we all know that if we ever feel like we just checked the box or we feel like we completed something, it makes us feel like we just did something great. It's hard to explain that feeling. Like when you do something and you know it was a hard task and you pretty much, you pretty much got it completed. It makes you feel really, really good. It takes a load off of you. So psychologically, it's a positive thing because you can move on to the next task and focus all your mental energy and power on getting the next task accomplished. So it's like me, I'm not going to lie, I have business ADHD. I bounce around, but at the same rate, I make sure I structure my ideas when I bounce around. So if I could get everything done at once, great. If I can't, well, I got to come back to it, and the structure is still there. But I'm always working to get deals done. Like, for example, right now, I got multiple deals pending in real estate. Multiple deals, whether it's wholesaling a property or setting up a new Airbnb. I have those things working at the same time because, that's how my mind works. I'm able to find a balance and create a structure and not worry about something losing out. So I've made it my focus to get those deals done. And when I get those deals done, not only does it make me feel good, psychologically or emotionally or physically or whatever, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm ready for the next task. I'm ready for the next challenge. Whatever it takes, don't feel discouraged. Sometimes you may get obstacles in your way, like a simple no. No's can slow down the process of you getting a deal done, but it doesn't have to be the end all. Keep pushing. Go to the next deal if possible. Challenge yourself to get things done. Find a new way. Learn from that no, and then find a way to execute and deliver that done deal. Like I said in previous episodes, as long as you draw oxygen, there's a lesson. You learn that lesson, you improve, and you move forward. You don't let a no shut you down. Being an entrepreneur, I hear a ton of no's. And then eventually, I start getting yeses. And then the people that told me no and that didn't believe in me come back and they want to get in on the deal. At that point, I have to tell them, unfortunately, that ship has sailed. Maybe the next deal. You can't drag your feet when it comes to stuff like that. That'd be the next thing that I talk about today, is dragging your feet. If you're going to be somebody who's known as an executioner, you got to be prepared to get the deal done no matter what. And sometimes you got to push through those no's and show them this is why you should say yes. I can't beg you for your yes, but this is why you should say yes. So however you decide to handle it from there is on you. This is an opportunity that I'm presenting to you, and if it doesn't work for you, I'm going to present it to someone else. That's fine. That is how you execute. That is how you move forward, no matter what. That is how you press through, no matter what. No one will ever be able to stop you from moving forward as long as you're willing to keep pushing forward. I don't care what type of deal it is. Like I said, if you're waiting for that new lease for your new home, and there's some things that got to get done, go out there and get it done. By any means necessary. I know people say, oh, it's much easier said than done. Okay, it is. But there's nothing to it but to do it. If you're sitting around on your hands, not trying to figure out, make phone calls. If you're short a couple $100 or whatever, make those phone calls. See who you can borrow the money from to get that deal done. Sometimes you need a little bit of help to get a deal done. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Move your feet. Get active. Do what needs to be done. Don't live in your excuses. We all have excuses. But at the end of the day, you got to step forward and be prepared to execute no matter what. No matter what. I used to be that person that had to think. And then when you get caught in your thoughts, you become paranoid. Like, okay, well, if this doesn't work, if that doesn't work, you start freaking out. I was that person that was so caught up in my thoughts that I didn't allow myself to get the deal done. Then when I started doing, it became addictive because I knew that I could get a job done. I knew I could get the deal done. I go into a negotiation for anything and feel like I can walk out with a done deal. You have to find confidence. You have to be confident in you and your ability to get things done. That comes over time. It comes with activity. Inactivity leads to you feeling as if you can't do anything. I'm 100% active. I believe in everything that I do. I believe in anything is possible if I put my mind to it. I know it sounds cliche, but man, I have practiced it and I practiced it for years. And people around me will tell you that if I say that I'm going to do it, it's going to get done. Because I do everything in my power to make sure it gets done. No matter what. Now let's talk about the individuals that has opportunities and deals on the table and drag their feet. That kind of how I ended the last one is a perfect segue into this. What are you dragging your feet for? Even better question, what do you have to lose? You don't have anything to lose. Because you can't lose something that you didn't have to begin with. So, for example, the outcome of the deal, you didn't have it to begin with. If it's something that's monetary or something that's physical, had you not approached the deal in the first place, you never would have had it to lose. So what are you worried about? So you take a chance to gain things. That's what a done deal is. You're gaining things. Something that you wanted. You wanted that new home. You went out and you got it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, go back to the drawing board and figure out what you can do differently. You didn't have that home that you wanted in the first place. So why get so upset about not getting it? Figure out what you could do to get your dream home. Figure out what you could do to get that job. Is your resume tight? Did you take the time out to clean it up, update it, and do everything that you were supposed to do? Is your references together? Was your appearance right when you went to the interview? Those are the things that you have to make sure that's together so you can execute. Execution is huge. And the only way you can execute is if you actually do what you need to do prior to approaching that deal or that opportunity. Get your ducks in a row. Think about it. If you feel like there's something missing, ask questions. Google it. So you're prepared. Preparation is the most important thing when it comes to execution. You have to make sure you're prepared every step of the way. You may not have every answer, but guess what? You know how to respond on your feet. Preparation allows you to be ready for anything. So don't drag your feet when there's an opportunity in front of you. Don't half-ass the preparation, which causes you to drag your feet. And a lot of people will be mad because they miss opportunities because they drag their feet. And they get mad at the individuals that execute. I know. I had a ton of people around me that used to get pissed because they're like, how the hell did you pull that off? I don't know. I just kept working for it. How the hell didn't you pull it off? That's my question. They look at me as if I have 3 heads. Like, no, seriously. How the hell didn't you pull it off? Oh, if I had to put my finger on it, you didn't try. You can't lose when you try. If it doesn't work out, you learn why it didn't work out. And you go forward, you move forward, and you do what you can do to improve on your chances of it working next time. As long as you breathe oxygen, there is a next time. Get yourself prepared for it. Don't make excuses. Don't dwell in that, oh, well, I wasn't able to do it, and things are so bad, and, nothing ever works out for me. That's a part of the dragging your feet syndrome. Who cares if it didn't work out at that moment? Figure out why it didn't work. Get your ass up and go get it done. And I hear, oh, well, not everybody's as motivated as you. No, they're not. But look at your circumstances. That's a hell of a motivator. If you don't like the way that you're living, guess what? You're going to want to change it. If that's not a motivation for you, I don't know what to say for you. You have to look at your circumstances. You have to think about where you would like to be so you can change where you are. It takes action. It takes activity. You have to take chances to make things happen. And if you're so blind to your circumstances that you can't see that you don't like the way you're living and where you are, so if you don't like where you are, sorry for the brief pause there, if you don't like where you are or how you're living and you don't like your circumstances, there's only one thing that you could do about it. Take action to change those circumstances. The same energy you put into an excuse and saying why you couldn't do something, you could put it into actually getting something done. It's not a hard concept. Just think about it. How much energy going to saying, I can't do it? And taking action and can't do it. Guess what? The same energy you take to sit on your ass is the same energy you take to get up and say, I can do it. Like I say, this may sound cliche, but I do it every single day. Look, I'm a person that has struggled with depression. I'll put it out there. For a long time, I never knew what the shit was. I would sit there and be like, I don't understand how people allow themselves to get so depressed. And then I start to understand how mentally it works, how psychologically it works, how much of a toll it takes on a person. Given the right circumstances and things in life that happens, any and everybody can become depressed. I don't care how mentally strong you think you are. It's how you handle your depression that matters. And that's the difference here, is that a lot of people don't know how to recognize their depression and how to handle it. They try to ignore it and avoid it. That's a whole nother topic. But being willing to step forward and take a chance and not drag your feet and make excuses, don't dwell in your excuses. Like I said, the same energy it takes to say, I can't, and sit on your ass, is the same energy that you can use to get up and press forward and say, I can. The power of belief will take you places that you never thought that you would go. I believe in myself. I do belief exercises every single day. I make sure I let myself know that, hey, today is going to be a day that you get a deal done. I'm challenging myself to be better. And the only way I can challenge myself to be better is to give myself the tools. And the first tool is telling myself that I can do something. That is the first tool. I was like, you know what? Things may be difficult. It may be hard. But guess what? We're going to push through it. We're going to get it done. No excuses. We're going to get it done. We're going to give ourselves the chance to get things done. You have to give yourself a chance. You can't wake up just to shut down. I wake up and I get going. Sometimes I wake. Sorry for cutting out there. Sometimes I wake up and I remind myself, excuse me, that there's things that need to be done. There's things that need to be accomplished. I wake up and I do these exercises that allow me to see that I can get it done, that I can close out on a deal. Right on my wall, I have 3 pieces of art that represent hustle, grind, and execution. Hustle is a verb. The only controllable pillar of success. Grind is a verb. To perform repetitive tasks over and over in order to attain a goal. Execution, a noun. Stop talking and put it into work. And that's what I do every single day. I hustle, I grind, and I execute. Execution is necessary. When you get past your excuses and you start to tell yourself and show yourself that you can get things done no matter what, then you're batting at a higher average. You're operating on a higher plane. And a lot of people don't understand how to get to that plane. Well, it starts with you changing your mental verbiage. It starts with you changing your actual verbiage. Stop saying you can't do something, or it's too hard, or it's impossible, or whatever it may be. You change your verbiage, you change your mindset, you take action, then you'll see that things can be done differently. You'll see the results of changing your verbiage mentally. We don't want to internalize things that's going to make it impossible for us to get the deal done. The only way you can get a deal done is by having some level of confidence. And if you're killing your own confidence, there's no way you can get any deal done. You can't move the needle. You can't even move forward. You have to find a way to do things differently. You have to work harder if you are killing your confidence on a daily basis. I see people do that. I see people struggle with it. They'll wake up and they're like, it's going to be a hard day. Things are going to be too difficult. It's going to be, really, really rough for me to move forward. Excuse after negative excuse after negative excuse. It's a whole lot easier to make an excuse and blame somebody else than to take responsibility and move forward. When you start owning your actions, then you have the power. When you start owning your situation, then you have the power. There's no one else to blame. And some people are comfortable with having someone to blame. When you remove that option, then you can only look in the mirror and see wow, if it's not getting done, it's not getting done because of me. So, change your verbiage. Practice execution. You understand that you have to hustle. You understand you have to grind. But you have to focus on ways to execute. Because hustle and grinding without execution, you can't get the deal done. Hustle brings you the deal. Grinding gets you through the deal. Execution closes the deal. Remember that. And when you get that down and you understand that you have to remove the things, the negative, jargon or verbiage from your mouth, from your spirit, you have to remove it. The next thing you know, you'll find yourself feeling like I can do this shit no matter what's in my face. Life is going to feel like it happens every day, and you're going to find a way to maneuver around it. I deal with that every single day. It's an up and down thing. Sometimes I can't even understand myself. I don't even understand how I make it past certain things, but I do, because it's my resilient nature. It's embedded in me. Where most people shut down, I actually go against the grain. I challenge it. You could become that way too. I want to thank you guys for checking out this episode of Coffee and Convo. Until the next episode, people, I appreciate it. Don't forget to share, like, and, if you ever got any questions, hit me up, booking.daviddyoung@gmail.com. Have a great day.